An upcoming show at the Museum of Science and History tackles the evidence of the Big Bang, including what some consider the theory's smoking gun. Here to get us up to speed is Eddie Whisler, director of the planetarium at the Museum of Science and History, better known as MOSH.
Hello.
Hello, how's it going?
Always fun.
Oh, it's great to have you. So we've been talking about birth, different kind of birth, but
Yes, yes.
let's move into the birth of our
And
universe.
and before that, you were speaking with two planetary astronomers.
Oh, yeah, there's a theme.
There
It
is.
wasn't intentional.
Yeah. Most people don't think about it that way, but I do.
Yeah,
If you study the Earth, you're studying. So Deegan and his soon to be
Lewis.
and Lewis um, are planetary astronomers. They're studying weather patterns on the planet that we have the easiest access to.
Huh,
And they're doing the work that a planetary astronomer would do if they were studying some other planet. They're just doing it here.
sure.
So how's that for like a consciousness lifter?
I like it. There are people like doing weather on Mars, right? There are
Of
people
course.
that's their job.
Yeah. And many, at least in the beginning of the game, they were probably trained, as Earth scientists, then taking their skills and applying.
Earthling scientist, I
I
think.
love this.
All right. Big Bang.
Yes.
Tell me about it. There is some evidence out there supporting this. Is it like agreed upon science, the Big Bang?
Yeah. So this is pretty massively overwhelming evidence for um, because it hasn't always been this way. There were competing theories, especially early on, about, I guess you could call them competing ideas, because a theory is a very it's a very robust idea that has much evidence
Mm,
supporting it, and it's kind of become that over time. One mutually buttressing amount of evidence, and then from a completely different angle, a completely different line of inquiry also supporting it, and then another massive inquiry line of evidence supporting it. And so all those different kinds and what they are,
because
is
they're
just
so different
fascinating because
supporting
they're
this.
so different.
Mhm.
So just to mention them off the top, and then we can rip into any one of them that you want. Like the expansion of the universe is one that many people grasp and understand, right? Galaxies, almost every single one of them is moving away from us. And the farther away that it is, the faster it is moving away from us. So that was
What does that suggest?
so that suggests one of two ideas, which at the time were competing. First off, the person who saw these receding galaxies for the first time wins hands down for best named astronomer. His name is Vesto Slipher.
Oh,
How is that
that's
for a name?
super.
This guy is awesome. And then Edwin Hubble famously took that work and just added to it, and kind of quantified the how fast these things are receding. So all the galaxies in the universe are racing away, except for the closest ones to us that are gravitationally attracted, like the
Stuck to us.
Yes, yes. So they can, over the near gravitational feeling between the galaxies that are closest to us, overwhelm the universe expansion because of how close they are. But then all of the rest are moving away from us.
But that suggests that it's the lingering residual effects of the bang.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Or what people said at first, while being skeptical and coming up with other possibilities for that, is that um, n- new material in the universe is bubbling in and causing this expansion while maintaining a steady state to the universe.
Mm.
And so this was another explanation for that. So this was the steady state hypothesis. And so these were competing camps in astronomy
But the
at the
latter
time.
has sort of been since debunked or discarded.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, especially with one overwhelming piece of evidence. So it was predicted by Big Bang cosmologists at the time that if you ran the clock back, things get closer together, things get more dense, things get temperature increases, and all kinds of weirdnesses happen. And you just crunch all that back, further. Uh, you know, there gets to be a time where, it becomes too hot that not even individual particles can stay together, and these kinds of weirdnesses. So they said, well, if that's expanding, then there becomes a time when, um, atoms essentially solidify and condense and come together, and that would release photons, that would release light at a very particular frequency. And so we should see this light everywhere, says the math and says the people working. And they say, "Oh, how are we going to find that?" And they're like, "We have no idea. We're never going to find this. We don't have sensitive enough instruments." Lo and behold, a couple decades later, we find this on accident in every direction that we look, right in the predicted
The
frequency.
light?
Yes. And we call that now the cosmic microwave background radiation.
I see.
So we predicted it and found it sometime later on accident. And, it's things like that that happen in order to just help us understand that something like this model is definitely what happened.
This event, Planetarium Night Live, it's called Big Bang Nuff Said
Enough said.
on the
You know what it's
20th.
about.
It is June 20th, so a little time to study up on that beforehand.
Yeah, no need to study. Just come. We'll do it together.
Right.
And we'll do it under a 60-foot dome.
Excellent. Eddie Whisler, thanks so much for being here. We love seeing you.
Boom.
We'll see you next month.